everyone, this is Captain MKG here. Thank you so much for joining me for our planet. Oh, I didn't want to take a screenshot. Jerk. This is our Planetbase final planet review. In this situation, I'm going to go ahead and look at the achievements that we've gone over for all the 4 planet scenarios thus far, and then we'll go ahead and visit our latest and greatest base, S508. So first off, let's go ahead and click on the new game. As you can see here, the Class S planet, the Suicide Planet, which is what we've been working on, hence the name S508 for our base name, is now in the ranks of all the other planets, and all 10 achievements have been achieved on all planets. So, first success right there. But we're not going to do that one. Instead, we're going to go ahead and load up our latest save here. As you can see here, the last time this was accessed was back on June 25th, which was the last time I did record my episode. Unfortunately, as of right now, it should be the 17th of July is what I'm recording this as. And I'll get into a little bit more about that later on in terms of, kind of what's going on and more importantly, why you haven't seen any video of me in the past two or three videos here. So, but we'll get into that at the end of it. For now, let's go ahead, jump into our save 34. And hopefully this will be our new thumbnail, because I checked all the other achievements. It's the same thing. I left it with this load screen the entire way. I don't know what got into me. I must have just been lazy. So usually these achievement videos are around about 5 minutes or so I'll do my best to try and keep it short and succinct as possible. So as you can see here, we have our standard S508 base. Let's go ahead and tab off everything. Alright, let's go through a few things. So as you can see here, we have at least 400 colonists, 200 robots, so that's 1 robot for every 2 people, so work is minimal at this point. Our supplies are ridiculously high. We have enough food, we have enough liquor, we have enough raw materials, and more importantly, we have enough trading materials. And by trading materials, I'm specifically talking about our medicinal herbs. Those medicinal herbs are worth 10 coins a pop. And more importantly, compared to carrying around ore and starch, the medicinal plants are actually easier to carry, and so therefore won't drain the morale of your fellow citizens, or colonists, I should say. Alright, let's go ahead and check out what we have here for tradables, if there's any robots, just as a quick test. Oh, good. We have cash. We don't need any more guns. And I'm pretty sure we're good on robots. We'll go ahead and dismiss this person for now. So let's go ahead and go through a few of our supplies. So as you can see right now, we have a prestige of 990 out of 1,000. And as you noted in my last video, I can't go any higher than that. I don't know what is causing me to be stuck, but I'm just stuck there. And right now our welfare is good. Typically I do like to try to finish off the game with an excellent status, but in our last video, I was aware that for a brief period of time, I was able to achieve an excellent welfare at this level. So, in my opinion, that's good enough for me. Just because once we go through the base, you'll see there's not a lot more I can do to this base other than restarting the whole damn thing. So, as you can see here, going beyond this to the next section, we have our colony population. Excuse me, Jesus. I need to drink some better coffee. Anyways, we have our current population in terms of ratios here, our workers, biologists, engineers, nurses, and our guards. You can see here we have a very large workforce and very minimal in terms of our security and our medical support facilities, just because with how limited base area we have and how desperately we need to generate power, we have to have better control over who gets into our base. So that's why we don't have as many guards, and that's why we only have 2 starports that we'll see here in a second. So additionally, for our robots, as I said before, we have a human to robot ratio of 2 to 1. We have plenty of carrier bots, so more than enough to get everything going. Plenty of constructor bots to give our engineers some time to go ahead and make the more sophisticated materials. And of course, the few driller bots we have to keep a very minimal supply of ore going, just because we do have plenty of it for right now, and we also have plenty of bioplastic as well. So whether or not we had to trade off our bioplastic or our medicinal plants, we have resources to trade to supplement whatever we can't do. So if we are running low on ore, or if we're running low on metals, we can easily come back in here and trade our goods and get the supplies we need. And of course, you've been probably seeing the numbers here. Obviously, these numbers are pretty good for this kind of level right now. We have a surplus of everything, as I've mentioned before. Plenty of ability to build as many robots as we possibly could need. And plenty of all the spare parts we need, plenty of the guns, and everything else. So, resource-wise, we're good. Alright, so, let's see here with the other ones. No, nothing really in the charts to discuss. We have plenty of oxygen for our population here. Plenty of water storage, power storage, and daily power usage, as you can see from all the windmills going off in the background. The one thing I will say with regards to kind of like a retrospective on this is that if I did have to go back and do this all over again, I would recommend just giving the O2 generators. Don't ever go the maximize with them. Just do one. And the reason for that is because I've done a mixture of mostly just two, the maximum size oxygen generators, and look, I have twice as much oxygen as necessary. So cut that in half. You save a little bit on resources, save a little bit on energy, water, and you also save a little bit on real estate when it comes to trying to set up your base. So moving on, we also have our various percentages here. As I mentioned before, large workforce, about 25 to 30% in our worker, biologist, and engineer categories, and again, a very small staff of medical workers and guards, because again, we're keeping our base pretty tight-knit here. We're also going ahead, look at our manufacturing limits. I'm making as many medical supplies as I can because I have pretty much an unlimited supply of medicinal plants and bioplastic to work with, so infinite carrier bots to keep the engineers busy and to keep our base happy. And again, there's all of our techs, all completed. And if I remember correctly, I don't want to do that one. Alright, so now that's over with, let's go ahead and do a quick little base tour. So, what I'm going to go ahead and try and do is I'm going to go ahead and try to find... Actually, here it is. I started over here, in which... Yes, I know, a trading ship is there. Ah, this is where it was. So this is where we originally started, right in this little cluster right here. And right around here is where we had our first starport to keep, just to get ourselves started. So now you can see we've transformed that area into our energy production facilities, both wind and solar. And of course, base is littered with these lightning rods to go ahead and collect the energy, but also to prevent our base from encountering destruction. One thing I have done to also achieve our prestige is to also build a few more of the extra things that do provide prestige. I don't think I built a second pyramid. What I know I built multiples of was the monolith here because, for the resources and how much prestige I'm getting, it was worth it. Alright, so, as you can see here, plenty of battery powers. We also have our antennae to capture communications, if we needed to go that route. And let's see here. So pretty much, this has been kind of like a bit of a haphazard-ish kind of put together place, but for the most part, we have the standard, access ports, growing facilities, the bars, our relaxation facilities, robot facilities, sleeping facilities. They are littered all over the place. They're here just to make sure that, we are, just making sure everybody has access to everything, that there's nothing for want. So, in other words, basically the goal is here not to have anyone die of starvation, because I don't understand how that would even be possible. So, we're going to go ahead, and I'm just going to go ahead and just scroll slowly through the base, because there is a lot here, but, I am proud of what we've done here, what we've been able to accomplish. But now that this challenge is over, it's time to move on to our final challenge. Our final challenge is going to be, in kind of a sad way, it's going to be our final challenge for this whole game, because there's not much left to do after this is done. The only thing we have left to do is to complete the Dark Express Colony challenge, in which the goal is to get 300 personnel onto the base in 70 days. Sounds simple, but you never know what could happen in those 70 days. So we're going to be trying to figure out how the best we can go about that and trying to get that done successfully. So another good thing about our particular base is most of our storage facilities, they're full. So very few supplies are being wasted. Everything is being converted and used into useful resources. So, can't go wrong with that. Let's see here. Plenty of storage. And then we also have our second starport down here that we built to go ahead and, again, give us a little bit more personnel. And again, trying just to utilize all the space that we can. And as you'll notice too, the base does have a very large connection. If I recall correctly, this whole base is connected, from one end to the other. So, short of having to go out and mine something, or repairing something, or, just having to take out supplies to the next trading ship, people really do not need to leave the habitat. Excuse me, because as you can see over here, we have our extension, we have our branching out over here, we have our connection right here in the center of the screen, and right up there on the top of the screen. And I know it kind of branches out back behind these mountains. Brief connection here. This is connected here. So plenty of connections, plenty of open space, very low risk. Even better. You guys are just idle. That's perfect. Now I know I have way too many personnel to work with, so I'm good. Again, not going to stress it, just going to accept it and move on. And then down here, once I have been able to go ahead and expand down to the base, I was able to go ahead and increase this area into production of more wind power, since that is going to be the most predominant energy source here on the planet thanks game. So in short order, in terms of energy production, you want to do wind, then solar, and where's the reverse order? Honestly, it doesn't matter. You just have to keep in mind that wind is going to be the most predominant. Solar is like half capacity right now just because of the storm and with these cloud covers. So if we were to look at the panel right there, see, it's only generating half of what it could just because the cloud cover is so high. So, but however, same thing with the wind. The wind could pick up or the wind can stay down. It just depends. But in my opinion, I believe that the wind is more efficient when it comes to this particular planet just because it's relatively constant. And if you have, in conjunction with those solar panels, you can make a decent stand here. And then I'm hearing another ship. So this is our third starport that we put down. Not really much going on here. This is very, very controlled just because there was really nothing else to do down here, so I just put this in instead of building another solar production. And as you can see here, plenty of supplies just sitting around, laying around, doing nothing. So that's pretty much it, everyone. In my opinion, I call the Planet S landing and base establishment successful. And I believe the next goal, like I mentioned before, is going to be to go ahead and do probably a live stream, I think, of the Dark Express colony and trying to achieve that in under 70 days. I've never tried that challenge, so this will be a good test of my skills on the fly, so to speak. Now, just in case you're wondering, by the time this video goes up, I don't know how present I'll be online, just because I am in the process of moving once again. So hopefully, I know for sure by by the end of the month, I'll be settled in a new place and I'll be good to go. But in the next the next 10 or so days, I might just be a little bit out of the loop and not as present as I usually am. So thank you all for bearing with me and watching these videos and showing support in those comments and likes and everything. I do appreciate it. And with that, I'll go ahead and leave it there, and I will see you hopefully when I can get a live stream set up and when I have a couple hours to work with. So until then, I hope you all are doing okay and hope you all are doing well, and I will see you all in the next one.